What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Fire Sports Takes podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, on today's episode, we're going to talk about the absolute joke of a basketball team the Boston Celtics are. We're going to recap the Denver Nuggets. We're going to talk a lot about the Denver Nuggets today because as a Brooklyn Nets fan, I have a lot of vested interest in the Nuggets' future draft pick. And I'll tell you what, I think things are headed to a steep fucking decline and a potential they fucking stink. Jamal Murray stunk. We got a lot of stuff really to get in. Not that much stuff. Just some mild. It was a mild sports news day, but mostly it's just NBA playoff stuff. And what better place to start than with Jaden McFucking Daniels? And if you guys are listening and you're not locked into the NBA, let me set the scene for you guys right here. Jaden McDaniels is a forward, 25 years old for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Jaden McDaniels, after game one, went on in a press conference, said this, and they lost game one, mind you, said this about the entire Denver Nuggets.
Cam Johnson, Aaron Gordon, the whole team. Yeah, they're all bad defenders. So just to consider that. Yeah, just they don't got people that could defend the rim, and if he is there, we still more athletic than them, and just got to be able to finish when we do.
He called out the entire Denver Nuggets roster, NBA champions, 3-time MVPs. And he said, yeah, they can't guard. They stink. They're all bad. They're all soft. Charmin ultra soft. And what did he do? Elimination game. No Dante DiVincenzo. No Anthony Edwards. Here's 32 on your fucking head, Rudy Gobert. Here's 32, Jamal Murray. You can't guard me. And you know, it's just everything he said in that clip was so 100% correct. And he said that after they lost game one. Like, he was talking shit as a heavy underdog in the series, and they dropped game one. And everything he said was true. They don't have a good rim protector. That was on display tonight because Terrence Shannon had 23 or whatever it was, just cut while shooting 1 for 7 from three. Shannon was just getting downhill, blowing past Jamal Murray most of the time, one of the aforementioned bad defenders, and getting to the rim at will against who's their rim protector, aforementioned bad defender Nikola Jokic. The only thing he did say that was kind of bullfuck is that Aaron Gordon's not a good defender. Aaron Gordon's one of the best defenders in the world. But he wasn't lying. And he went after them. Jamal Murray has now put together mid-playoff series. He wasn't that bad in this Nuggets series in totality, but he was awful in the elimination game. Got locked up by Jaden McDaniels, who was an elite defender, by the way, and just had 32 in a closeout game. I don't know if I said that. Jaden McDaniels, 32. 32. He's a 14-point per game scorer. No Ant. No DiVincenzo. I think they were missing another key contributor, too. I don't know why my brain... Not Julius Randle. But I feel like they were missing another key contributor. Dosunmu, who had 40 in game fucking 4. So yeah, they were, or game 5. No, game 4. So they were without one of their go-to scoring options in this series, unironically, Ayo Dosunmu. They were without their best player in Anthony Edwards, one of their best role players in Dante DiVincenzo. They rolled out a starting 5 of Julius Randle, Rudy Gobert, Mike Conley, and Terrence Shannon Jr. And Jaden McDaniels, as I wouldn't even say the number one scoring option, although he did take that role over tonight. Julius Randle is probably the number one scoring option when the T-Wolves throw out this starting 5. Was absolutely electric. And I'll tell you what, you see the ceiling of what Jaden McDaniels can be as an offensive player. It looked a little bit like, I don't want to say it, I was getting some SGA vibes, man. And he doesn't have the handle. He's not as good of a shot maker. But he was attacking the mid-range, man. He was getting to the line a little bit. He's a better slot. I don't know if I'd say he's a better slot. SGA is fucking elite. He's so good. But the way he was attacking the mid-range, and if he can get that mid-range pull-up down, he's 6'10". Like, it's going to be a short... There's not a whole lot of wings that are athletic enough and tall enough to guard Jaden McDaniels if he can improve his handle and he just and gets a better jump shot from 15 feet. He can just rise up over everybody. And we saw that against the Nuggets when he had 32. And he is an elite defender, one of the best defenders in the NBA. Locked up Jamal Murray today, clamping his ass. He went and said that after losing game one, came out and backed that shit up, man. And that means so much. Like, very rarely do we see somebody that just yaps like that and then comes out and dead ass fucking talks that shit and walks the walk. He talked the talk, he walked the walk. Aiden McDaniels, one of my most favorite players in the NBA instantly. And that is such a trendy thing. Everybody's going to be glazing him. I don't care. This is one of those instances where I'm hopping on the Jaden McDaniels wave. I didn't know he was that much of a fucking dog. And for him to come out and drop 32 in an elimination game is next level, man. It really is. And how come Jaden McDaniels and Anthony Edwards can't be the next 1-2 punch for this T-Wolves team for the next 10 years? Why not? Why not? We saw what the ceiling can be for Jaden McDaniels offensively. We already know he's one of the best defenders in the league. He's 6'10", ridiculous athlete, versatile defender. There's a short list of wings that can guard him if he improves his handle and locks down that shot. He had a career high in field goal percentage, a career high in three-point percentage. He had a career high in assists. He had a career high in points. Why can't Jaden McDaniels and Anthony Edwards lead this Minnesota Timberwolves team to a championship over the next 2-3 years? I mean, they've made back-to-back Western Conference Finals. The only reason they're probably not, and I don't want to write them off, is because Anthony Edwards is injured, and Dante DiVincenzo is injured, and Ayo Dosunmu is injured. Why can't Jaden McDaniels? Like, I feel like nobody, we're going to start talking about it now, but Jaden McDaniels is a legitimate number two option for this Timberwolves team for the foreseeable future. I don't know what Julius Randle's contract is, but I'm pretty sure he's got to be in his 30s, sniffing 30. Let me get Julius Randle. How old is he? Let's see. Julius Randle's 31. Rudy's got to be up there too. Let me see how old's Rudy. This is their core. Rudy's 33. Like, these guys are getting up there. Now, you're not going to find a replacement to Rudy, who's one of the most underrated, ironically, because he got voted like the most overrated player. One of the most underrated players in the NBA. They don't win this series without the performance that Rudy Gobert had against Nikola Jokic. He was unbelievable defensively. One of the most underrated players in the league. So replacing Rudy is not going to be easy. But you look at these guys they have ready in the wings. Jaden McDaniels, 25 years old. Aaron Shannon, 22 years old. Oh no, he's 25. Wow. So he was a old senior because he's only in his second year. Either way, 25 is not old. Like, I just had to be younger than that. And then I would assume he's probably like, what, 25 as well? 26. So they got a bunch of young athletic guards all hitting their prime at the same time. Jaden McDaniels is a dog as well. This Timberwolves team is not going anywhere. They're going to be a mainstay in the Western Conference for the foreseeable future. And they have been. They've been back-to-back Western Conference Finals. And it's not like they were top seeds in either of those years either. So, they're a problem, man. They're fun to watch, dude. This was next level, high physicality. And I feel like the refs did a really good job letting the boys fucking play, man. And I feel like we ripped the refs a lot. And I'll tell you what, being a ref is the hardest job. It's nobody likes you, especially basketball, and it's such a subjective sport. But the refs, I thought, let the boys play in a major way tonight, and I'm going to tip my cap to that. But let's talk about the Denver Nuggets, man, because I think their championship window slammed shut. And you're like, how could you say that? They have Nikola Jokic. He's the best player in the world. I don't think he's the best player in the world anymore. I honestly would go and say Victor Wembanyama is the best player in the world all around. Jokic is nowhere near what Wemby is defensively. He's not the type of athlete that Victor Wembanyama is. He obviously has a higher basketball IQ. He's a way better passer. Is he a better rebounder? You know? But we'll give it to Jokic for now, right? Even though the playoffs hasn't exactly, like, he got locked up by Rudy Gobert. Let's just call it what it is. For Jokic's standpoint, it's probably SGA, the best player in the league right now. SGA, Wemby, Jokic. That's a top 3? I don't know, man. This might be a little bit a prisoner of the moment. Jokic was really uninspiring this series. He couldn't shoot. He couldn't shoot the ball. He could not shoot the ball. But I think the Nuggets championship window has slammed shut. They haven't made the conference finals 3 straight seasons. They were bottom half of the league in defensive rating this year after trading for Cam Johnson. That's supposed to improve you on the defensive side of the ball. How did you get worse defensively? Jamal Murray had 2 of his worst playoff series back to back. Oklahoma City last year, Minnesota this year. Awful in Game 7 last year, awful in Game 6 this year. Got locked up by Jaden McDaniels. He's a liability defensively. Minnesota was just hunting him, especially in the fourth quarter, back-to-back possessions. Terrence Shannon, then Jaden McDaniels. Liability defensively, and he had such a fantastic offensive season in the regular season this year. Did it kind of train like he had a few monster games in the Timberwolves series, not in Game 6 when they needed him most. However, Aaron Gordon was hurt a good portion of the year. We can't just dispute that. He was hurt for a lot of this year, and they're a different team defensively when he's on the floor than when he's not. I'm not saying that at all. Like, he's obviously Aaron Gordon hurt this team a whole lot in the regular season and in the playoffs. They also are without Peyton Watson, and Peyton Watson was averaging 20 in the month of January and a little bit into February before he got hurt. Wasn't the same offensive output when he came back from injury, but he's a good player, 23 years old. Christian Braun stinks. 3 points, 27 minutes. Give me something, man. He had a couple of really good defensive possessions down the stretch, so I will give him credit there. But Christian Braun, what are we doing? 23-year-old Peyton Watson, 20 points per game, right? He's a restricted free agent this year. The Denver Nuggets are second to last in the NBA in available cap space. All their money's tied up. They're going to have the ability to match Peyton Watson's contract. I bet he gets Emmanuel quickly like money. Maybe a little bit less than that, but still, he's going to get it back. 23 years old, averaged 20 before the injury. He's a dog. He's a baller. I want the Nets to sign him. He's a baller. He's going to get paid somewhere. The Nuggets don't have the roster flexibility to match that contract. You're going to lose Peyton Watson, who was another really good offensive spurt. Probably the third go-to scorer, quite frankly, for that little stretch. Although I think Jokic might have been out that stretch. Either way, he was a go-to guy when they needed buckets. Michael Porter Jr. last year, go-to guy when they needed buckets. They traded him. The three-point shooting was awful in this series. I doubt they'll be able to retain Peyton Watson. So it's going to be Aaron Gordon, Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic, Christian Braun. Jokic is 31. Jamal Murray, 29. Aaron Gordon, 30. That's your core? In a Western Conference that not only has the Thunder, who is just so unbelievably young, only getting better, Jalen Williams, SGA, Chet, continuing to ascend. The Spurs, Stephon Castle, Rookie of the Year, Victor Wembanyama, De'Aaron Fox, Dylan Harper, Devin Vassell. They're just young. The Rockets, I know they still have, they have their own problems. Like, KD's going to be gone. Doesn't matter. They still have Amen Thompson, Jabari Smith. They're young. They're not going anywhere. Ime Udoka, Alfred Şengün. Ime Udoka is a good coach, kind of. They're not going anywhere. They were a 2 seed last year without Kevin Durant. You have the Timberwolves, who have a bunch of 25-year-old guards and a 25-year-old Jaden McDaniels all entering their prime, and they just beat you, and they were up. They beat you, and they closed out the series against you without one of their best role players in Dante DiVincenzo, and their best overall player in Anthony Edwards, and a player that dropped 40 on them in Game 5 or Game 4 in Ayo Dosunmu. They're not going anywhere. That's 3 teams right there, 4 teams right there that have brighter futures, younger talent, more roster flexibility than the Denver Nuggets have. So I don't know in what world the Nuggets championship window is still open. Nikola Jokic is not enough in the West. Not enough. If it was in the East, could this Nuggets team stumble out of the East and then maybe couple things go their way in a 7-game series against a team like San Antonio, or against a team like OKC, if they're healthy, if Aaron Gordon's healthy, if they're able to retain Peyton Watson, yeah, I think that could happen. But they're not in the East. They're not going to be able to have a cakewalk to the NBA Finals. They haven't made the Western Conference Finals 3 straight seasons. So I don't know, man. It's hard to believe in this Denver Nuggets team with the way their roster is constructed, how they're going to lose more offensive firepower this offseason. Now, Cam Johnson trade was an absolute bust. They would rather have an MPJ, in my opinion. And they also traded a first-round pick along with MPJ for Cam Johnson. Underwhelming year, awful in the playoff series until Game 6. And then with their competition in the Western Conference, the Lakers still have Luka, too. I didn't even mention the Lakers. The Trailblazers aren't going anywhere. The Trailblazers are one of the best young teams in the league. Denny Advida, Scoot Henderson, Donovan Clingan. They got guys. So I think the Nuggets championship window, I'm officially closing it. Done. Dunzo. Jokic needs to go out of there. Keep in mind everything I just said. I am a Brooklyn Nets fan, and the Brooklyn Nets have the Nuggets pick in 2032. So I might just be willing stuff into the world. But Jokic is a free agent in 27. Payne Watson's a free agent this year. I don't know what Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon's contracts are like, but Aaron Gordon's 30, Jamal Murray's 29. It's not like these guys are still like back end of their prime. Jamal Murray did have his best regular season ever, so I think he's gonna be fine, but it's clearly not enough. Nuggets are fucked. The Nets are getting a first overall pick in 2032, and they're gonna just build. It's gonna be similar to what the Thunder were able to do. Well, they were really good. They also had a bunch of early picks too. It's gonna be very similar. Obviously it's wishful thinking, but yeah, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button. What else are we talking about here, ladies and gentlemen? Amazon, bro. Amazon Prime Video needs to chill out, man. I'm tired of Amazon Prime Video. Not only did they take Thursday Night Football, which is fine. That's fine. That's just one game. Whatever. Now they're taking NBA playoff games. And now they have 3 Duke basketball games for next year's college basketball season. UConn Duke in Las Vegas on November 25th. Amazon Prime Video exclusively. Duke, Michigan. Madison Square Garden, December 21st. Amazon Prime exclusively. Duke Gonzaga, February 20th. Amazon Prime exclusively. You know who doesn't have Amazon Prime? Your local fucking dive bar. You're telling me, as an average American male, if I want to watch and bet on some college basketball on a Saturday night while simultaneously going out to the bar to awkwardly make eye contact with girls and not talk to them, then go back to looking at the Duke Blue Devils play the Michigan Wolverines on December 21st in Madison Square Garden, I'm going to have to log into Amazon Prime Video on the local dive bar's television. Listen, I've only been out in like Pittsburgh and Morgantown, West Virginia recently. The diviest of dive bars for the most part. These guys don't, the TVs are barely work. We're lucky if we get the TVs on, number one. Then I got to ask the bartender to change the channel. Hey, can you throw on fucking Prime Video, please? It's just not good. Not good. I can't watch it. I work in a restaurant. I work in prime NBA hours. My manager, I was trying to log in to Amazon Prime Video on the TV show. That's illegal. You can't do that. I'm like, all right, well, fuck. I guess I'm just not watching Thursday Night Football. But now we get into the NBA playoffs, and I can't watch these playoff games because of Prime fucking Video. I got to watch the game on my phone in the middle of the restaurant. That doesn't go over well with the manager either. Pick your poison. Either I'm on my phone or we're breaking the law and I'm signing into my Prime Video on the TV. The Hornets are going to be good next year. You talk about, I live in North Carolina. They're going to want to watch Duke basketball. Amazon Prime Video, Duke basketball. If I'm still at the restaurant next year, fuck. But still, Amazon Prime is taking over too much. That being said, Amazon Prime, I'm pretty sure, Meta got banged up today with their earnings report. Let's see what Amazon Prime stock is at. Because I'll tell you what, You got all of these streaming services. Nobody's quite cornering the market the way that Amazon is trying to corner this market here in terms of the streaming of live sports. The Netflix broadcasts fucking suck. They are awful. Can't do it. I swear it's always blurry. Maybe it's just my TV, but all my other shit comes in crystal clear. So maybe we should use this as a sign and buy a fuck ton of Amazon stock. Is that not crazy? Is that not a crazy place to go? They're cornering the market out of the streaming services. YouTube has some live games. They suck, but YouTube also has YouTube TV. Who has live sports? It's honestly pretty sick. I get like every single college basketball game I could have ever asked for. So I do like Hulu for that. The college, but now that Amazon, actually, that's not even true anymore because Amazon's fucking getting in the weeds with the college basketball stuff now. So Amazon's got to chill the fuck out. And also, NCAA tournament expanding to 76 games. I don't know how to feel about it. This fucks up our ability to make brackets. That's the number one place my mind goes. When you have the first four in a traditional 64 team bracket, it's like, all right, it's a fucking it's two 16 teams. I don't care. And then it's the 11 seeds. Those can get hazy. I always go back and forth between those because I don't know which team's playing when I'm making my bracket, right? So that sucks. Now, it's going to be 12 games. It's going to be 15s, 16s, and I think it's like 11 and 12s. That's bullshit. That is bullshit. How am I supposed to pick a trendy 12-5 upset when I don't even know what 12 seed's going to be playing in the first round? Make fucking sense. However, counterpoint, I think everybody's being a little bit dramatic about this NCAA tournament expansion. Because those few days after Selection Sunday leading up to March Madness, when there's not really any basketball, it's just the first four, those suck. I hate those days. And what I read, it's that we're going to get March Madness starting on that Thursday. So the Monday to Wednesday, we're just going to get a bunch more high-level college basketball. And I'm fucking here for that. I'm here for that. But I am concerned with how I'm going to fill out my bracket. I don't like the reasoning behind their expansion where, first of all, the article I read on ESPN, it's not about the money. You don't have to fucking lie, okay? You're ruining a perfect tournament, and then you're slapping us in the face with a dildo by saying, oh, it's not about the money. What the fuck do you mean it's not about the money? If it wasn't about the money, then you would let in more mid-major teams. And you can't say it's not about the money and then also say the main reasoning is to give more at-large bids to the power conference schools, so basically making the bubble bigger. How the fuck does that mean it's not about the money? If it wasn't about the money, you would give more of an opportunity for these mid-majors to get at-large bids. Because the mid-majors can't compete in an NIL way that the way that these power conference schools are. So the only reason you would expand the tournament and for it to not be about the money was if you were giving a better opportunity for mid-majors. Because let's be honest, if Auburn makes the tournament or if Belmont makes the tournament, the game that has Auburn in it is going to get way more viewership, way higher ratings than the game with fucking Belmont in it. So you can't say it's not about the money because you're expanding the tournament to get more mid-major or power conference schools at large bids. At least fucking own up to it. You know, that's the thing. I'm not even that opposed to this, to the 70-16 tournament because it's like, okay, the Monday to Thursday when there's not a lot of college basketball, it's just the 2 11 seed games that rock. And then obviously the 16 games that nobody really gives a fuck because those teams don't have a chance anyway. It's like, all right, at least now we're going to have 12 games from Monday to Wednesday. Fine. That's going to be fucking dope. I'm honestly not upset at that. I'm upset that they're changing a perfect tournament, saying it's not about the money, but then also saying, oh, those mid-majors that we're not seeing a whole lot of go far in the tournament, yeah, they can go fuck themselves. This is for the power conference schools to get more money to their conference so that they can pay more players because they need more money. So at least admit to that. Don't cower and be a little pussy and be like, no, this isn't about the money at all. But we want more but we want more power conference schools in. But it's not about the money. But we want more power conference schools in the tournament. Go fuck yourself. I blame Auburn. I blame the SEC. The SEC is to blame. Let's just blame it all on the SEC. I'm honestly fine with using them as a scapegoat because the SEC Got 11 fucking teams in the tournament, and they had like 2 teams make it to the Elite Eight. And it was a 6 seed and a fucking 11 seed. SEC champ out in the Sweet 16. Arkansas got absolutely fucking boat raced. Boat raced by Arizona. Florida lost to the 6th best team in the Big Ten in the round of 32. Florida was a number 1 seed, by the way. Boat raced the entire SEC conference in the regular season. Missouri had a home fucking game against Miami. That game was in Kansas City. Lost. That's the 4th best team in the ACC. Shout out Trey Donaldson. But we're going to give these teams more at-large bids. Go fuck yourself. The SEC blows. I hate the SEC. It's crazy how far I've come. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that thumbs up. Like my college fandom, the more my college fandom grows, especially with college football, because I was not a big college football fan growing up in the Northeast. I was always a college basketball fan, but not a big college football fan. We just don't have, there's not really a lot of good teams in the Northeast. We like NFL. We like basketball. We like college basketball. But then I went to West Virginia. Then I started watching college football, and all right, this shit's pretty fucking sick. And the more I watched, and then the more I watched college basketball, the more I'm intertwined and understanding the ins and outs of how college sports work, the more I just fucking hate the SEC. They can go fuck themselves, every single one of them. I hate them all. I don't hate. Hate's a strong word. I don't hate. But they're really annoying. SEC fans are really, really annoying. They still think they're the creme de la creme. Newsflash, you're fucking not. The Big Ten's the best football conference. The Big 12 and the Big 10 are unequivocally better basketball conferences. The SEC will have their years. Like in 2024, they were the best basketball conference. Not disputing that. They had 2 teams in the Final Four. Good. Not disputing it. But if you're talking about over the last 10, 15 years, the ACC's been better than the SEC. The Big 10 and Big 12 have obviously been better than the SEC. ACC basketball, by the way, used to be fucking, like in 2018, 2017, SEC basketball was king. It was. Virginia, UNC, Miami, Duke, peak. Then we saw the shift to the Big 12 in the early 2020s. The Big 12 was always good, though. Don't get it mixed. Bill Self, Baylor. I don't know why I'm having a brain fart. Texas Tech. They were always good. SEC had their moment. 2024. Good for them. They didn't deserve 11 teams in the tournament. They all fucking stunk. And the only reason the Big 12 got fucked this year in the NCAA tournament is because Joshua Jefferson from Iowa State got hurt. Arizona, I mean, they just got boat raced by Michigan. Michigan was just a better team. There was another Big 12 team that had a pretty big... Oh, JT Toppin from Texas Tech got hurt. That's the only reason. What else is happening? The Celtics suck dick. The Celtics are awful. The Celtics are just plain up awful. The most volatile team. I love Joe Mazzulla. He should get out of Boston if he knew what's good for him. Derek White's overrated. He can't stand in front of Maxey. He can't hit a three-pointer. VJ Edgecombe been a clutch. Joel Embiid's been the best player in the series when he's been on the floor. Tyrese Maxey's been unbelievable. The Sixers, when fully healthy, Paul George is giving good defensive minutes. The Sixers are honestly pretty dangerous. And then I think the Knicks look like the best team in the Eastern Conference. Can we talk about OG Anunoby for a second? That dude has been unbelievable. Karl Anthony Towns, really efficient, good, 20 points per game, basically on 56% of the field, nasty. OG Anunoby, over 20 points per game, nasty. Playoff Brunson, dog. Mikal Bridges has been a complete and utter zero until Game 6, but the entire Knicks team had team takeover in Game 6. If the Knicks are serious about making the NBA Finals, which right now, gun to my head, I would pick them, Mikal Bridges needs to lock the fuck in. He's going to be the X factor. You traded 5 first-round picks and and another pick swap for this guy. He had a couple of clutch defensive moments against Boston last year. He's going to have to pick up the slack offensively down the stretch to be worth 5 first-round picks. It doesn't matter if they make the NBA Finals because they're going to get rinsed anyway. But I want to see Knicks fans get that false sense of hope. All right, we're good. Relax. Not done with the Cavs either, although they've been very uninspiring. I do think the Raptors are a tough matchup with their size, athleticism on the wings. The Cavs don't have that. They don't have really good perimeter players, which does worry me against the Magic assuming the Magic close things out, assuming the Cavs close things out in the second round as well. But either way, that'll do it for today's episode. Make sure you guys hit that follow button. I love you guys, man. Hit that subscribe button. I'm going to start posting every single video to every single podcast to YouTube as well. So if you're listening to a full podcast right now on YouTube, I love you guys. Hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button, hit that thumbs up button. I go live on TikTok all the time. I love you guys. I'll talk to you guys in the next episode of the Fire Sports Takes podcast.